plan. And script. Okay.
Great, I'm calling this meeting to order. Can you please rise to the table for the flag salute? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
States of America. And
States,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting is called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. This meeting on May 11, 2026 is included in the list of meetings notice sent to the Courier News on January 5, 2026, posted on the bulletin board of Borough Hall on that date, and remain continuously posted as required. In addition, a copy of this notice is and has been available to the public and is on file in the office of the Borough Clerk. Have a roll call, please, Carla.
Councilman Rice,
here,
Council Vice President Engelhardt,
Here.
Councilwoman Fasara, here, Councilwoman Herbert,
Here.
Councilman Levitt,
Here.
it's here, Council President Parker.
Here.
And Mayor Mara.
Here. Okay, I have a couple of things on, the mayor's report. I do have the monthly report from our police department as police commissioner. We had 27 criminal investigations this month. They included harassment, sexual assault, stolen vehicle, DUI, assault, simple assault, trespass, drug possession and distribution and manufacturing, missing person, theft, and an angry driver who tried to hurt somebody with his automobile. There were 11 arrests made, including drugs, DUI, possession of paraphernalia, theft, and assault by auto from the angry person. We had 24 motor vehicle crashes. None had were involved with commercial vehicles, and one motor vehicle crash had an injury. And that is it from the police department. I have some other things. The obstruction of public right-of-way ordinance that Sergeant McNally talked about at our last meeting. He did
Circulate.
thank you, that's the word. Circulated it, and he got feedback back from Councilwoman Herbert. Nobody else. It was tweaked by our attorney, and circulated again by Sergeant McNally to everybody. So I just want to know if you're ready to have that put on for an introduction in our next council meeting.
I actually received a phone call from our property maintenance Dave Giuliani, our property maintenance officer, and with some comments. So I would maybe like to I don't want to reiterate them now, but I am gonna follow up with that.
Just real quick,
Yeah.
I Beth had mentioned probably some of the same things, and Chris and I went back and forth reference,
Oh, good.
reference the outdoor dining and seating and with
That's
zoning.
actually not what he was.
Okay, that's what David brought to our attention.
Okay, he
So,
literally called me at 5 o'clock this afternoon, so
okay,
I'll follow up in writing and talk to Brian as well in person, but that's the only thing I wanted to add. That's why I didn't respond very
No,
well.
that's good. I think that's a good idea. Okay. I also received correspondence from the county planning board. They'd like the council to consider doing an ordinance to create a public path parallel to the Black River and Western Railroad line between Main Street and Route 31. That would be through the cut glass property as well as other properties where they don't have the width in their right of way to allow people to safely walk in there. So if the council's okay with that, we send this over to the planning board tomorrow night to work on.
I'm fine with that. I actually will expand upon that on my report as well.
Your report tonight?
Yeah, because Trent and I both attended the bike meeting last week
Mhm.
for the county, and they mentioned that you had, while we were there, they mentioned that you had met with some county officials last
Well,
week.
it was really the chief of police,
Right.
much more than me.
Right, they mentioned you and chief.
I mean, I just sat there, she did all the talking.
Okay,
And I think he had 2 meetings with him actually, so.
Good.
Okay, let me see, I just wanted to also let everybody know Dave Giuliani is back at work.
More.
First day was today.
Well, he didn't come in first.
No, he's working from home today, catching up on all the paperwork.
Okay.
And just give you all a heads up that Ken McCormick identified on Spring Street that there is the need to block a parking spot out right where Forester Place comes down to Spring because the turning width for a fire truck is not big enough, and because it's so close to a stop sign, it actually shouldn't be a parking space anyway, because of this the stop sign on Forester. Doesn't require an ordinance because that is already the law, state law, that you shouldn't have a car there, so that parking space is gonna be zoned off and he also, Ken McCormick would also like to see Forester Place marked off as a fire zone, so nobody can park there at all. That will require an ordinance. I'm waiting for Jay Troutman to write a memo regarding that and losing at least one 15-minute parking space and turning it back into a full 2-hour parking space on Main Street. Also, so I can circulate that memo to y'all and have Chris write whatever ordinance we need to write on those.
Was Ken not a part of the parking committee and asking those things before we even got to this point? I'm just trying to understand why.
Ken claims that he was not given any opportunity at all to opine on anything to do with parking or Spring Street or the design or the construction of the entire plan until we went to him regarding changing the direction of Spring Street parking to head on.
but he wasn't actually, I mean, the fire marshal was obviously asked to give their feedback when they went through site plan approvals, but Ken wasn't here then.
But Ken also said that when they go through site plan approvals, they don't see the entire site plan itself as finished and finalized. And this plan has had a lot of changes, a lot. So.
I don't disagree, I'm just saying that there's a process, and when the site plan was approved in 2020, he wasn't actually on board,
Right.
so. There's
But
that,
this-
there's
but
that
this-
issue as well.
But I guess is when Troutman's doing this studies that he's doing. I'm just curious because it just seems like we're cleaning up constantly. So during that study, was Ken McCormick even talked to or spoken with about the fire trucks?
Ken,
Because that should be a big.
Ken looked at that area because they needed to move a pole. And right now, Forester is a no parking at all. But he wants it to be a fire zone because it gives the police more power to ticket and it sends a stronger message about people idling. So he is requesting it be turned into a fire zone where right now it's already a no parking zone. So I think that was an afterthought for Ken. As far as the turning radius goes, you know, I spoke to him about why this was so last minute, and he started explaining about that they didn't know where all of the mechanicals were gonna be, where these fire hydrants and the pumps and everything else were gonna be, until this was actually completed, and he had no say about any of that. And where those pumps are inside the building, the first truck that gets there on Bloomfield Avenue, turning onto Spring Street, is gonna block every other truck from getting in there. So they're gonna have to come down Forester. And so therefore, you know, he wants it, I mean, they're already, like I said, Jay looked at it now at Ken's request, and it's already an illegal parking space because it's too close to a stop sign. But until those mechanicals and everything else were put into the building, Ken had no idea where fire trucks were gonna be going.
I thought it was also about the parking when they went to when they adjusted the parking. That was a part of the problem.
No.
That's what I thought I
No,
heard.
no, nope, not at all,
I'll ask Ken again.
not at
Maybe
all.
I just misunderstood, but I'll ask Ken again. Go ahead.
Okay, so that's that, and then I think the last thing I have is, we've been traditionally canceling the last meeting, the second meeting in May. And I just want a consensus that everybody's okay with canceling the second meeting in May.
I am.
I am. I need one more. Two more.
I'm fine with it.
Okay, by me.
Okay, all right. Okay, good. That's it. Council President Parker.
Yeah, a couple of things. So I had a very long meeting with us last week. And it looks like we're targeting July 1st for the opening of the hotel. I actually went on a tour of everything. They're now at the point where they're just hitting off on the punch list. Everything's up. They just have a couple of things that they've got that they're waiting for, but and I guess that's also contingent upon the last inspections. But the hotel is absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's really nice. And then we've been talking about, we're coordinating what it's gonna look like in terms of the opening of the hotel, who's gonna be invited to what, at what points. There's some people that I've asked to be invited. And we definitely want to put some focus on the business owners that on Main Street, because they've been tolerating this for quite some time. And so we want to make sure that they are treated special. He has hired a public relations and marketing company, and I'm going to be meeting with them along with Ally. We'll be meeting with them sometime in the next week or so. It's very exciting. He's doing a lot of great stuff. He's doing it all right. I'm just excited. It's going to really put some focus on what's going on. We also talked about how it's going to look for the 250 parade, because the hotel won't be open, but the plaza may be open, that people can stand in the plaza to watch the parade. They're working on that to make that happen. So we'll have some definitive things by the next meeting, but it's up and running. It's pretty much a go at this point. That's really cool. I've also been talking to a couple, one of the things that dawned on me that's been sticking my craw a bit is that I just don't think we have a great communicative relationship between the county, the borough, the state, the whole 9 yards, because it just seems disjointed and everybody's in these silos. So I've actually been reaching out. I'm planning some meetings with people from all levels, including the federal level, because I think there needs to be some light brought to Flemington and how they can help us. We cannot do this on our own. We need to have some involvement from everybody's standpoint, and they need our involvement as well. It needs to be more of a better relationship. I also, because I actually wanted to understand what was going on, I wanted to understand about cut glass, because I kept hearing stories about this is happening, that's happening, and someone suggested, why don't you just call Dave Dallas? And I did, and we met, and so I got his view. Not going anywhere. I just wanted to understand what's at stake here. What can we do? What can we do to improve that? What can we do to get that, to do something, because it's an eyesore. And when Trent and I and a couple of other people went to clean up that site, and the way that it's being abused is absolutely just, it just makes me feel as though there's a lack of respect because there's nothing on it. So I'm going to throw, I'm sure you guys have seen it. I'm going to throw liquor bottles on it. I'm going to throw tires on it. I'm going to throw pallets on it. And so I just wanted to have a conversation to see what we can do to, at least until something's done with that site, what we can do better. So it's all about how we can do better. And so over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to have more meetings. Once I get to a point that I want to propose something, then I will bring that back to council. But I just think that that everyone should know who the council is. I really do. I think all of us should know. We should know who they are. They should know who we are. Yes, please.
Who was Dave Dallas? For the public.
Oh, okay,
Dave
so-
Ellis is the owner of the property, and what is the entity of the property, or did it just?
No, it's just,
Okay.
it's Cut Glass, Dave Dallas, yes, thank you, Adrian.
Yeah, I didn't.
you know what, I
I
just-
just wanna make sure we're communicating.
No, I think that's really good. Thank you for calling me on that, because you know what? I just assume everybody knows who he is, because I don't know who he was, right? So thank you. So yeah, Dave Dallas owns Cut Glass, and also owns Unity Bank.
Quick question, he had approval, correct, Susan?
You lost it.
And he lost his approval, right?
Well, because of the timeline.
Yeah.
It was extended because of COVID and because of the 2008 housing crash. The state allowed extensions for a while, but after all that went through, you know, he.
I wasn't really trying to go down that road with
No,
him, you know what I
trying to,
mean?
like-
No, thank you, Adrian, but I wasn't trying to, I just wanted to understand. Like what happened and why and.
In around the time that I did,
Okay,
it was literally like this just awful, like what you think now.
Oh, really?
It was terrible,
okay,
yeah,
worse?
oh yeah, it was the building
Okay.
was still there.
Okay, so anyway, we had a really productive meeting. I mean, he's a really nice guy, really productive meeting. And you know, I'll be following up with him on some things. And the last thing is, when you see Mark Haynes, isn't he the one who's in charge of fireworks and all that, right? I sent an email to him because I do have people who will contribute to the fireworks. And he was gonna send me something, so when you see him tomorrow night,
Mhm.
can you just ask him if he could send me that information so that I can get him money?
Yeah.
I know there's a couple of organizations that said yes, so I just need to know where to send it, when they need it by, et cetera, et cetera. That's it for me, thank you.
Okay, great, thank you. Councilman Levitt?
Sure thing. Thank you, Mayor. You can all hear me okay, yes? All good? All right, cool. If I read my email correctly today, it looks like we will be having a small pride flag raising ceremony on June 8th prior to our next council meeting. Want to make sure everybody is good with us, I guess, raising the flag on June 1st and then kind of retroactively doing a proclamation after. I have just gotten a new flag for the borough, and I'm more than happy to donate it to us. We had a parking meeting last meet, as was mentioned. I made a new fun parking map for online publication, which I put on the borough website today, updated the old one that had one or two spots that we no longer use anymore or don't exist. Also, I don't think she mentioned it, but Mayor Carroll and the traffic engineer, Mr. Troutman, completed an exhaustive survey of the various 15-minute parking areas around town. And after thorough review by the parking committee, we'll be producing an ordinance to get rid of a few that are no longer needed, some of which are not currently marked or signed. And I think we'll be adding one or two, for example, in front of the new police headquarters and that little cutout there. We'll be marking that officially as a 15-minute parking zone, I believe. We also discussed a few reports of speeding issues on Spring Street, and we discussed moving the speed measuring sign that we have around town there next, so we can figure out the extent of the issue and figure out next steps for what to do about it. As was mentioned, Councilwoman Engelhardt and I attended the county's most recent public meeting on their bike plan, and I gotta say it was really cool. They got a lot of really cool plans for the county, and whatever recommendations were discussed by whoever at whatever point, I thought they looked great for the borough, and I hope when they officially publish the plan, we can work to implement some of those ideas. The next Shade Tree Commission meeting is this Wednesday at 7 p.m. I guess in case nobody else mentions it, if you haven't noticed already, I believe Main Street is closed now and will be until next Monday at the absolute latest, right? They're working on installing that decorative stamped concrete intersection. And lastly, our DPW has installed the second set of RRFBs at the corner of North Main and Allen Street, and they look fantastic, and they're everything I dreamed they would be. And Mr. Campion told us that our guys are now so good at putting them in, which I am taking to mean that we should put in even more, because we don't want to waste their wonderful talent. And that's everything. Thank you very much.
So Trent, I just want to comment on that street, on the stamping of the concrete in the front of the courthouse. it's weather depending, that's the big thing, but also when they dug, my understanding is that there's concrete.
Mhm.
Under there, which no one anticipated, so that could hinder a couple of days, whether it gets on or not, so when you say the latest, I don't wanna say the latest, because now that they ran into a little bit of a snag, but.
I'm certain they will do their absolute best.
Yeah, they know the importance of it, but yeah, I got a text this morning telling me that.
I just want to add on also that the street is open until Forester Place heading north and open till Court Street heading south for traffic that is local going to the businesses. They shouldn't be discouraged just because they see like the beginning of buffer areas, but people can still park on Main Street and use those businesses. And then, you know, they'll have to go down Forester or down Bloomfield, so.
And the sidewalks are open.
The sidewalks are all
for
open.
walking.
Yeah.
Right,
Um,
and the police have
yeah.
done a really good job trying to make sure people know that for local businesses and kicking the contractors out of the parking areas to make sure that the parking spaces are open to the public.
And at one point over the weekends, once they get the concrete poured and it's cured, they will have a metal plate on it on the weekends that will allow people to walk over, whatever the case may be, but that's not right away. That's only when the concrete is poured and it's
Cured.
cured.
And then the other thing I just wanted to say to Trent was that it is all Chief Rotella. He really put a lot of thought into safe, you know, and I know that he and Beth McManus had talked about it in the past. About bike safety in town, but Chief Rotella really put a lot of thought into it and you know, I witnessed that conversation between the county planner and him and like he had just very, very excellent feedback to the county. I was very impressed with it. So, okay, thank you for your report. Councilwoman Herbert?
Hello. Quick one tonight. The FRSD school board meeting is coming up. I'm sorry, the FRSD, it's coming up and we just had it, so they're very close together. The one on April 29th, the budget was introduced. I do advise everyone in the community to review it to understand the tax levy increase that it entails. There is detail on the presentation that was part of the last the April 29th board meeting that goes into the details. Not unlike the borough, a significant portion of it has to do with public employee healthcare costs. Next meeting is this coming Wednesday. Parking committee, Trent and Mayor already spoke to it beautifully, so I'll leave it at that. Communications, we are a step closer to having a website presentation scheduled. Look forward to being able to report on that next time. And I know we have believe it or not, we're coming up on the end of another quarter in about a month. So we'll be looking for newsletter submissions again soon. Library board is meeting this Friday, May 15th, so nothing new there. Mayor, thank you, scheduled a meeting of the redevelopment committee, and we'll be speaking more about that in executive session. That's all for me tonight.
Hey Beth, can I just ask a question about the newsletter? So the next newsletter comes out when?
It would be end of June.
Because I'm wondering if I have the public relations person contact you from the CUS organization just to announce the hotel opening and the whole bit, just so that the community knows it's open.
Yeah, please have them reach out to the whole communications committee. So myself, Mayor Caro, and Council Member Levitt.
I'll give her a contact. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That it, Councilwoman?
That's all.
Thank you. At the library, that big room, they're working on cleaning that up now? Is that right or not? Is that my dream?
That they were working on getting the estimates. Sorry, we approved estimates and which vendors we were going to go with in the last meeting. I do not know if that work has begun yet. Although I think I might have the report for this Friday in my inbox, so I could take a peek at it and answer you in a little while if you'd like.
And that's to turn it into like a lecture room or it's a usable space and,
It's to turn it back into a usable space.
okay,
Excellent.
okay, that's great, thank you. All right, Councilwoman Fazzar.
Thank you, Mayor. The environmental committee chose not to meet this past week on the fifth, as there was no business that we had to attend to. But I do want to remind everybody the borough cleanup is May 30th. Rain date is May 31st. It will be from 10 to 2 p.m. You'll meet at the DPW. You do not have to be there the whole time. I will only be able to attend for about the first hour.
Say it again, when is it?
May 30th.
Okay, thank
The rain date is May 31st.
you. Okay.
And DPW is providing gloves, vests for safety, garbage bags, so just bring yourself. Reminder, we're targeting the areas of the historic home and garden tour. And we will also be providing snacks. From the fire department, I just want to say thank you to the DPW. We had 3 doors, if you look around them, that were rusting out, and they were able to get those painted. And the only other thing that we really need to address, which I think we can address at a later date, but the apron was approved by the council last year. And I know there were some issues with scope creep, but I think we can get that apron done and we can focus on that as long as we get a decent estimate. So that remains a concern. And that is it. Thank you.
Councilwoman Engelhardt.
Yes, thank you. Oh, Adrian, I couldn't hear the beginning of a sentence. The apron where?
The apron in front of the fire department.
Oh, we got,
Fire department, okay, sorry, sorry, when you and I are so far apart and you're talking straight and I couldn't hear it, thank you. Okay, so, a couple things that I wanted to mention was, I wanted to follow up on, since we talked about that we attended the bike, meeting, and I wanted to thank the chief as well for his input. I also want to thank, there was a public survey that went out, so any residents that actually responded to that survey, that feedback was in there too, and I want to thank anybody that did that. I was also going to bring the same subject up at the planning board meeting tomorrow, and there was a lot of really great ideas there. Mayor mentioned one of them. I think it might be a good idea to take the presentation that the county did about bikes, and that is actually available for everybody to see on the county planning board website. I think it might be a good idea for the planning board to consider implementing some of the recommendations, not only into the master plan, but perhaps into your checklist, specifically addressing things like bike racks and when you review a site plan, does it align with the county's recommendations for different right of ways and bike paths that, you know, have that intention? We might be able to grab some of those bike routes into some, you know, both private and public land improvements as it gets done over the years. So I'd love to see the master plan reflect what the county recommended.
With you.
Yeah, so that's what I'll be mentioning at tomorrow night's meeting. In addition, there is a planning board meeting tomorrow night. The 2 main things on the agenda are both completeness, so not a lot of meat there. There's an application at 22 Allen Street, as well as the Jaja Warehouse completeness hearing. That's the one on Route 12. And in addition, I just want to thank Karen Kiffin for her service as chair of the planning board. She did step down as chair, so there'll be elections tomorrow, and Jeff Dashna stepped up to cover her work for the last couple of weeks. Karen is staying on the planning board. She's just stepping down as chair because of, you know, conflicts and just busy with her job, and really appreciate her service and time on the planning board. Let's see. I do want to mention, we all talked about the stamping, the concrete stamping on Main Street, and the street is closed, but the sidewalks are open, as well as all the parking along up to that, up to that certain point. And in addition, there's a sidewalk sale on Sunday. So that's all open as well. So please don't forget your local businesses there. Let's see, I got that. April animal report. I mentioned this at a previous meeting, but it actually was the only item that was in the April report, and that was there was a dog on dog bite, as well as the fact that the people that were walking their dog also had some minor injuries, and the owner was of the dog that bit was very remorseful. I spoke to the animal control officer and felt horribly. But just a reminder, please make sure that your fencing and whatever you keep your dogs on your property. Make sure they're secure. Just double check all your gates and stuff, please. We don't want to have anybody get hurt. So that was the only item on the animal report. Let's see, bikes. Mayor mentioned that Dave Giuliani is back. We're happy to have him back. He did call me at the end of the day today and said, boy, you had a lot of things ready for me to go. So he was very busy on his first day back. And we discussed that. I did also speak to Ken McCormick on Friday regarding that fire zone versus parking zone on Chorister. And I think this is just as, we already talked about this, but I think one of the takeaways I think we can all make from that, at least what I got from Ken McCormick on Friday, was that I think this is a really good reason why we need to have a municipal representative involved on a regular basis, maybe on monthly meetings or whatever, with each development or large construction project. It doesn't have to be an area in need of redevelopment, for any large construction project. We need to have regular monthly meetings with the owners, developers, because things like this over years and years happen. Like you said, the site plan, they don't necessarily know where the utilities are going to be popping up. Things change, even if it's just a minor change. In this case, it affected one parking spot. And Ken was pretty supportive of this and really pushed for this, because it seems like a small thing, changing something from a parking zone to a fire zone, but it definitely helps both Ken, the police, and Dave when it comes to holding people accountable for where they're parking. So it will help them in the end. So I want to make sure I'm supporting the police and the fire department, but definitely having these regular communications with active construction sites would really be helpful. Let's see, I mentioned
Can I
that.
ask you a question?
Yes,
I saw the minutes for the Liberty Village meeting on March 26th.
yes,
Have you had a meeting since? Because those minutes reflected that you were gonna be calling a meeting every 2 weeks.
yes, and you're right.
What?
Every
No.
few weeks.
So-
Well, I know I did say I would like to have a meeting in 2 weeks, and then it was Easter, so there was nobody around then.
But not
But I
every
had,
2 weeks. It's just gonna be.
I wanted to have regular meetings,
Right.
yes. But I would have liked to see 2 weeks, but in the end, I did get an update from Dave on that right before he went on vacation. So I was comfortable with that. And I also had spoken to John Tillotson last Thursday quite a while about Liberty Village. So he and I also checked in. So I felt comfortable that we knew what was going on. And I also made sure I drove that everybody knows that the Stengel Road is open at least on Friday, Saturday, and Sundays is open for traffic now. So that's another good thing. So when I saw all these different things happening, and I checked in with Dave. But yes, I would like to have another meeting.
Because, I mean, only because there was another demolition of the brand new stormwater system again in the last couple of weeks, and George Malone was nowhere to be found. The police were calling him, John Tillotson was calling him. Who else was calling him? Mike Campion was calling him. RVE was calling him, and RVE is the one who caught it. The Contractor never reported it, RV's inspector caught it. And RV wouldn't let him off site until the work was completed and everything was put back on the same
Good.
day. But,
Well, John did not mention that to me. So obviously it was taken care of, but yeah, I'd like to
Well, I
have,
mean,
certainly
we
I'd like to have
definitely
another
we
meeting.
definitely need to meet with them because there was a couple of other issues with George Malone that we need to address.
but my concern is that
Came up.
everybody is calling him, leaving him messages, and he did not respond to anybody at all.
And that was our concern and what we expressed to him at that meeting, so obviously we have something to discuss with him. Like I said, there is no development committee on there, so you asked me as construction liaison to
Fine,
To
then I'm gonna,
do this, I'm
development committee right now,
happy to do
you,
it.
Council President Parker and myself.
Happy to do
Okay,
it,
doing
great,
it right now,
perfect.
and, we'll call for a meeting immediately. Cause I don't know legally, Chris, how to get this guy to hire a GC. He doesn't have GC on site.
No,
Are they on our agenda for?
hold on, he does,
He does
it's
have a-
just that the person may not be,
No, that's,
Whoa,
may not have experience.
Let's.
May not
No,
have-
no,
let's
that's
act as
different,
far
that's
as-
different.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's different.
all right.
If you wanna talk about the issue of the GC, I'm not going down this road.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
There is.
All right, happy to chat, happy to chat.
Executive session,
Happy to
consider all the redevelopment
Is
stuff
that it? Throw it
to talk about
in, throw it in,
the fact that my reports are that
You're right, I see.
throw it in,
He's right.
watching, so, okay,
throw it in.
anything else, Councilwoman?
There is a GC, there is,
Yeah,
there's
there
not a
is.
CI.
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll talk
Makes
about it
sense.
back. Anything else in your report?
Very quick, the high school is having a blood drive on Monday, May 18th. And the strategic planning sessions that I know Tony was interested in, I know Beth was interested in, I know Brandon was interested in, is online with the high school, and June 8th, they're gonna be presenting the results of that strategic plan. That's all I've got.
Okay, anything else?
No,
Okay, thank you. Councilman Arias.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's just very short. I really haven't had too many meetings this past 2 weeks. Other than that, it's just the Samuel Fleming house. The front of it has been painted, scraped. I know they're working on the sides now, but because of the rain and all that, still take a little bit of time, but should be hopefully done by the next month. I know they had Saturday, they had the Mother's Day event. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend. And I've been a little busy these past couple weeks. And I know we have a Historic Preservation Commission meeting on the 20th of May as well. And you know what? I didn't say I wasn't gonna tell nobody. I wasn't gonna say nothing publicly, but I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna just say it. I got married today, this morning at 10 in the morning. So I want to say thank you to Mary Melfi for helping me out there, and she did a great job. It was, yeah, no, I just thought I'd let everybody know. So it's just and thank you to Carla as well for helping me out there with all the paperwork. So yeah, it's just been a couple busy weeks lately. So yeah, it's pretty short, my report. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, we have public comment session number 1. If you have a comment online, please raise your hand, otherwise please come to the microphone, take your name and address to the record. And you have 3 minutes, come on in.
Jack Combs, 102 Park Avenue. I haven't been up here in 6 to 8 months. I can't believe you haven't done anything for parking on Park Avenue, even making it just resident only. I don't know what's taking so long. We're making diagonal streets behind appease Mr. Cuss, and you won't do anything to appease the citizens that don't have any parking. Next thing, what's going on with the train station on Steve's property? Everyone knows this building. This is the reason why Park Avenue doesn't have parking that we had, because someone deemed this historical. And they couldn't make Park Avenue and Ferran Boulevard to go straight across and having that jog. That parking lot that they took down and made Steve's parking lot half the size was because of this building. This building was supposed to be moved either to Liberty Village, Turntable Village, or to the Point by Steve's. They're getting away with letting it deteriorate. I see this every single day. This is historic. What are you going to do about it? Next thing, we have a parking issue of tractor and trailers in front of that building. I have to call the police.
Sorry, from which building?
That building right there, the train station. Everyone knows about it. I got diesel fuel on my vehicles because they idle. Again, I don't have to be up here and find out everything. You guys should be doing all this and appeasing and getting parking for us. And when you go to build all those buildings, I'll be up here if no one does anything. And I'll make sure that we have our own parking lot put over in any one of those places. For the residents who are in their 80s, in their 70s, this is not right. We have signs all over the place and no one obeys them. They don't obey them. We have no left-hand turns. Every night I come home at 4:30 and the first car that comes right behind me comes up to the stop sign and makes a left-hand turn. If you don't want to have if you want to have that, take the signs down. I have sign cancer in front of my house. I have signs everywhere for no left-hand turns and no one's doing anything about it. And no, I'm not going to call the cops every time it happens. I have enough video to show that it happens daily. But what are we going to do about it? Again, the best thing to do when we came through this was to make it a dead end. Make it a dead end. It doesn't hurt anyone. It doesn't hurt Steve's property. It gives us the security that the block is used the way it was intended to. And this way here, if it's a dead end, we don't have to worry about moving our cars every snowstorm to 3-4 blocks down the road as you want it. We use that parking lot where the train station is falling down. Because under Agway's property, we had a lot across the street from us that we used all the time. So again, I am not going to come up here. I haven't seen a single person come by my house and talk to me at all. So I don't need my 3 minutes. You can have whatever's left. But I'm saying, if we don't fix the parking and at least get those 6 signs that say residential parking, or it says permit parking, to appease us that we have to worry about opening our doors into, it was the stupidest thing in the world. Make it resident parking only and decide on how we're going to move forward. Because us residents, there's only 5 houses there. You can appease them like you appease Cuss, like you appease everyone else. This is not a big issue. If you make it a dead end, no one worries about it. It was called entrapment, is what they said. If you got a car come down there and you couldn't get out of there, it was entrapment. They can go down Steve's driveway if they come up with it blocked off. That's it. You know where I live. Please call me. My number's in the phone book. And I don't want a truck stopped in front of my house. I don't want a building falling down in front of my house. And that's what's happening. So where's the, what do you call it? Knock it or knock it down and let Steve start paying property taxes for it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else from the public? I have a hand up. I can't see who that is. Oh, I'm sorry.
on my notes.
You sure?
That's Ally.
Yeah, okay,
She's
hold on
gonna do
now.
an
She's
FCC.
gonna do an FCP one.
Oh, she's an employee of the borough.
Oh, well, no, actually,
It's Rob Fochel. I live at 77 Mine Street.
I'm sorry, what's your name?
Rob Fochel. It's FOEHSEL. I'm a homeowner on Mine Street. I know last week there was an ordinance passed about the bamboo issue. I know it's a state law. I just had some questions about it. I know that bamboo is an issue. That my house has it in my backyard when we bought it, and apparently for a couple decades before. Just want clarification on maintenance removal, is it required if it's already been planted?
You don't have to remove it, you have to just make sure it doesn't encroach on your neighbor's properties.
It's already in our neighbors' properties, so, you know, my family we don't know what we're supposed to do.
I mean, basically, if your neighbors complain about it, you're gonna have to go and mow it down, and then they have to maintain keeping it mowed down.
So if we
Is
mow
that
it
right,
down,
Trent?
they have to
That's,
maintain it.
Or I should ask Chris, right, Chris? That's the deal. If the neighbors complain, he has to go and mow it down, and then it's up to your neighbors to continue to mow it
On their side.
on their side.
But the initial removal.
The original, yes, the initial mowing down is on you.
And are there possibly any plans for assistance in removal if people want to remove? 'Cause I know it's. Yeah, I know.
Not to this man.
So,
He's a pro.
so I experienced the same problem that you experienced. We bought a house that was bamboo and then it just got worse and worse and worse, right? We recently just had it taken down. We called a landscaper to have it taken down. Here, I'll give you a couple of tips.
Take
Here-
it down or take it out?
Both. Both. So you can cut it down yourself and put it out on the sidewalk and DPW will pick it up. They will ask that you just cut it in half because if it's really high, they can't get it in. So, right, so what I did is I cut it down and then cut it in half. But the problem is just so invasive, it still comes right back. So we just had it done, as a matter of fact, 2 weeks ago, and every single day we've literally gone outside and just crushed the new growth. I can't even eat bamboo shoots anymore. I just can't even I can't even look at them. But the other thing is, I will give you, this is what someone gave me, is there are veins. You'll see the veins. If you cut those in half, they can't grow. You've got to kill them without bringing a backhoe in. You've got to kill them that way. So my suggestion would be is cut it down as far as you can cut it down. New growth comes in this time of the year for the next three more weeks.
Yeah.
And then it'll stop, right?
Okay.
But every day you gotta go out and you literally gotta just step on them. You don't have to cut them, you just have to step on them.
We just weren't sure if it was, since it's already existing, if it has to be taken down.
No,
maintained.
no.
Only if you want to.
Yeah, the ordinance doesn't require that. It says
So
we
if our
have to-
neighbors complain about it, we have to take care of it.
Yeah.
You have to take care of it initially, and then it's on them to mow it.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
My second question is, my backyard does have a township easement and it's a drainage ditch for storm runoff. It is supposed to be, from my understanding, from when we bought the house, it's supposed to be maintained by the township, and it has never once been maintained. In the middle of the summer, it's so overgrown that when a big rain does come through, I live at 77. The backyards from, I'd say 81 up to 61 get flooded. So we do have extensive rain damage in our property that we will eventually need to get our property relined or regraded and all that. Is there any way to speak to somebody about maintaining this
Our
drainage?
DPW superintendent is on Zoom right now, so he's, I'm sure, writing notes, and when we bring him on.
Yeah, because our drainage it's getting wider and wider. It's
He's,
the overgrowth, and I know because it is an easement, I don't want to touch it.
No, stick around for after the public comment, because we're gonna be bringing him on to talk to him about a number of issues.
I know my neighbors that I've spoken to, that have lived there for decades. My one next door neighbor has lived there for 30 plus years. So that it's never been maintained, and it's just getting bigger. There's no real channel for the water. It just kind of.
Well, let's see what he has to say about it. He may not be aware, because Mike's only been DPW superintendent for 15 years, not 30, so he may not be aware. So when he finishes the public comment, we'll ask him about it.
Okay.
Okay, so stick
Thank you
around.
guys for everything you do.
Thank you. Ally, I need you really to stick at 3 minutes. We have a large work session and a large executive session.
Okay, Ally, you're on.
I will be very quick. Hi, everybody. I wanted to first say thank you to Chief Rotella and Brian and everybody else, Mike from DPW, who were helping with the communicating about the closings. on Main Street. I know that Susan mentioned it, but we have tent sales on Sunday. There's a spring market that's being hosted by two of our businesses on Stangle on Saturday. And so it's been really helpful to get the communication out widely about the closures. We do have a grand opening this Thursday at Mia Art on Mine. I sent an invitation to everybody on council, as well as to the FID board and to the public via Facebook, as we continue to look for new ways to welcome our new businesses. Our first Sip and Stroll will be on May 21st. We have really pivoted to make it more of a community-based event. And so I hope that everybody is able to attend, as we have live music and lots of different activities for the public. A quick update on beautification and signage. We have been working tirelessly with fast signs on the wayfinding signage. Thank you to DPW, as we have been trying to fix some issues that we've had with the signage that has been completed most recently. We are working diligently to get that fixed so we can get the signage completed. We do have a new art installation going in at the Stangle open air gallery, which will be have a nice little grand opening at the Sip and Stroll on May 21st. And we're looking at new planters for flowers on Main Street and Stangle, as well as some of the side streets. The last thing I'll share, which is very exciting, we found out late last week that Flemington is one of the recipients of the FIFA grant that we applied for. I mentioned it at the last meeting that we were applying. We found out that we were one of the few that were awarded, which means we are going to be hosting an epic FIFA event on June 19th on Stangle. It has not been announced publicly yet about our specific event. I had a call today with the state, and I have a meeting on Thursday with the county, OEM, police, etc., to ensure that we are doing this the exact right way from a safety standpoint. But it's really exciting because it's going to bring a lot of economic activity to the borough for that day. Thank you.
I actually did mention that because I didn't want to steal your thunder. Because it was so crazy. I didn't want to steal your thunder on that, but I just have to say, for Ally to get this pulled off, we and Hackettstown and a couple of others, small towns, it's just so cool. I mean, thanks to Jerry on helping with this as well. So yeah, thanks, Ally.
Thank you.
Ally, I have a really quick question about the planters.
Mm-hmm.
I spoke to one of the Main Street businesses, and he was wondering, and this goes for anybody, I would assume, around town that has existing empty planters right now. She wanted to know, can she plant stuff in there, or is FID?
Absolutely.
Okay, or was FID planning on filling the existing ones as well? Okay. I'll let her know. You might want to send a note out to the rest of the.
Yep, we're going to be getting rid of those planters, and but yes, I'll send a note. Thank you for that recommendation.
Didn't know if she should plant stuff in there or not. If you were just getting rid of it, I don't think she'd bother.
Yeah. Okay. I will let everyone know.
Okay. All right, great. Thanks.
Thanks, Ally. Anybody else from the public? Seeing none, you want to put my champion on?
I sure do.
Okay, we have a DPW work session. So, Mike, are you on?
Hold on. I don't know what he's done.
Yeah, I think you have to hit allow to talk, don't you?
No, I promoted him.
Mike?
He's not there yet. No, I mean, I think you have to hit the blue button there.
Well, usually I promote to panelists, but let's try this.
There, you just did.
Mike, are you there?
Oh, he's still over there.
Maybe he stepped away for a moment.
Oh, oh, declined. Why are you declining me?
He's already in bed. Come on, Mike, wake up.
Come on. There you go. You
Mike, are
there?
you there?
You guys want to answer my question?
I'm here now.
Yay!
You might be walking a trench on Mine Street, so. Before we get into the solid work session, can you address that, that easement behind this gentleman's home?
Sure. We've cleaned that out twice. Last time was about 5 or 6 years ago. We do have to go to the DEP to get a GP, which is a general permit, and that only allows us to maintain from the head wall at 81 Mine, 20 feet downstream. Now, when we did do the 2 cleanups along there, we found that residents were throwing their brush along the stream. That's a stream, not drainage. DEP will not allow us to dredge the stream, only 20 feet from the head wall.
Did that make sense to you?
I mean, it's also a state violation.
Yeah, I just wanted to
put
make sure you
footings into the
understand
stream.
what he's trying to do.
Yeah, so the head walls, I'm assuming is where the pipe comes out. There's a concrete barrier where the water comes out from the
Correct.
street. And you can only maintain up to 20 feet after that?
20 feet downstream, yes, sir.
Once he gets a permit.
Okay. So can we get a permit?
Mike, when were you planning on cleaning that next?
We'll have to apply for the permit. It takes about 8 months to get it.
Oh.
Okay, why don't you apply as soon as possible?
No problem.
Okay.
But I'm a little confused because, I'm sorry, you had said that that easement goes from 81 to 77 or even
61.
To 61.
81 to 61, so that's more than 20 feet.
That's an estimate. My home is 77
Right,
and it's on my property. So it's on 81 and it's actually the property line of 81 and 77.
Okay.
It comes from Mine Street, comes from across the street at Mine Hill, whatever the condos are right there,
uh-huh,
under Mine Street, and then there's another drainage in between my house and my neighbors at 81. And it runs along our property.
oh, I know where you are, okay, all
And
right,
then it makes a right angle turn,
Mhm.
right, which comes, so all the water comes down the easement, which is on my property.
okay, yes, I know
and
about, I know,
it's-
yeah, I know where.
It starts at about 15, almost 20 feet and then narrows up. But with all the overbrush, when we do get a significant rainfall, it does go onto it backs up onto all the properties.
Yeah,
So
I know exactly that problem.
I mean, I understand that they can maintain only 20 feet, that's not really much. Am I able to maintain further? Like, are there any options that we can do to?
Mike, do you think you could make an appointment with this gentleman and take a walk with him and see what you guys can do back there?
No problem, Mayor.
Okay, why don't you leave Carly your phone number and Mr. Campion will call you tomorrow.
Thank you so much, I appreciate it.
Okay. He's great. So whatever you can do, he'll figure it out.
Yeah, I just. Solution.
Okay, and the second question, Mike, is that little section of Park Avenue extension. Did we make that permit or residential parking only?
During the park meetings? No.
No, but ever. It wasn't already signed residential parking only there?
No, that's public park.
We discussed it and this is
Parking
why I'm
permit,
asking.
I'm saying going back to parking.
No, it was before the parking committee, if you remember correctly, he came in and he made a suggestion because we made what you call it, street, residential
West.
parking only.
West, yeah.
And he came in and asked if we could do the same thing for him, and I think we all said, yes, we could do that.
But
But I don't think we executed it.
I didn't understand what he was talking about when he said there are signs already on the street that say permit parking only. That's what didn't make any sense to me.
He's talking about like you can't make a left-hand turn
I
sign.
thought he was
And
talking
then
about.
you also will start to see residents only, residential only.
That's on the other side of Main Street.
Yeah, but that,
Park Avenue, part of Park Avenue already is residential only from Court up. And Court Street is residential only, urban parking only, residential
In
only.
the courthouse.
Because of the courthouse, because of all the lawyers and
Right.
whatever,
So
so
we
park,
need to extend
park
it.
has been residential only for years.
Yeah,
So,
because of the court.
yeah, we can do
But
that,
I thought that we had agreed to do that.
I thought we did too.
Yeah.
and if there,
So-
and if there are, like, maybe, and
Chris,
I don't know.
okay, so let's just do it, Chris, can you please amend, whatever we did for West Street and make, his section.
From North Main to no.
Parkland.
It's Corcoran to North Main,
Yeah.
Park Avenue,
Mayor, is that council?
Corcoran to Main, to North Main, it is called Park Avenue Extension. Now, like, before this gets like weird, do we wanna make it permit parking only or resident, cause it's two different things. Where he can get a permit, like resident means that the people who are on Corcoran can park there too.
No, I think that we need to do
Let's
permit.
do permit.
I'm gonna say permit, and the reason being is
Yeah.
because if you just going up there, it's chaos. A lot of the people that live up there feel like they're living in chaos, right?
So let's
It's
just do
just-
permit only.
Permit
Yeah,
parking only.
do permit.
Same, yeah, permit parking only, just like it is on Corcoran
Corcoran,
Street.
North Main. So go
Corcoran.
Park Avenue extension.
Yep.
Permit parking only.
Yep. We'll let Jerry know,
To the notes.
you'll let Jerry know, please, Sergeant.
Cause our intention eventually is to do it all anyway.
It's gonna end, well, at some point.
Yeah, and
Or parking here,
look,
or
I go over there, cause he's complained before and I've been
Yeah.
over there and every
Yeah.
time I'm over there, I always see at least one parking.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that that's not an issue, it just means that every time I've driven over, I found one parking.
Might be an
Yeah,
issue
it's
at
on
night.
Saturday, get it.
Yeah,
On a
I've been
Saturday
over
afternoon, they
times.
can't go out
Okay.
and buy groceries.
So we already agreed, so let's move on, because we're holding up Mike from going to bed, okay? Getting his beauty rest, as we know Mike needs. So, Mike, let's talk DPW prioritization list. The council received this Friday, the right list, not the screw up list, I said the parking committee. And, so let's see if anybody has any questions. So this is the same format for Councilwoman Herbert. And I think Councilman Arias saw one of these last year, but you know, it's Mike's list, he does the roads priority. It's Josh's list, which is the water department, and it's Ken's list, which is the sewer department. It's their own priorities, they're not coordinated, there's no crosstalk. In order that they wanna see the money spent for whatever reason, whether it's infrastructure degradation or an order from the federal government, whatever it is, and then we've added in an estimated cost. We try to keep that updated every year. And if there is a funding source identified, there's no funding source identified, then it's blank.
So I do have a question. I don't see the well on here. Where is that?
It's under the police department list.
I don't see it. Did I?
It's under Josh's number 2.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, got it.
It's hard to read without the lines
Yeah.
that were in the,
Yeah.
So,
trying to.
Voter
Okay.
car park.
All right, and that's number 2. So, all right, let me just kind of go through this again.
And the funding sources for Ken's stuff is actually on the last page that got printed out. You gotta align those with the others. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Here you gotta hit the red grid box. It's the old red grid box.
Yeah, that's, yeah. Mhm.
now, Ken will be
Where did
will
probably
tell
you
you
printed it out?
that if we can get the EPA. That'll be the first one to tell you, if we can get the EPA to back off on the ACO, then this whole list changes, right? Because this is so expensive, that we're under this ACO, and we are trying to get them, like, tell us. They won't tell us when it's gonna be, like, when is enough, right? They won't, everything is open-ended with them, they won't tell us and commit to what will make this satisfactory to them, and that's part of the big problem. So,
We have not heard from the EPA since January 26th of this year.
right,
But if I remember correct, okay, let me try to jog my memory here. On this whole sewer thing. So where did they stand? What was the last messaging we got from them? I can't remember.
In January.
Yeah, what was, oh, well, it wasn't January, I'm thinking about last year, so January, you did hear from them in January. Is that correct? Did you
Correct.
hear from them in January? And what did
Yes.
and what did they say in January?
Our inspector from the EPA was gonna take the recommendations that Public Works discussed and bring it to their supervisor. Have not heard back since. Maybe because the government was shut down, but it's unusual. We haven't heard from our inspector from the E EPA.
Well, when the inspector came around, what was, did you get a feeling for what they thought?
She doesn't come around, she calls.
Okay,
But,
well, even during our
yeah.
conversation.
Yeah,
Did she, where she, if she was on board with this, or she was like, I don't want.
She liked the ideas that we gave her, RVE gave her. It's gonna run it up the chain. We haven't heard since.
Can we reach out to her?
We can.
That would be my suggestion, is somebody just reach out to her, just trying to, get an update on the status of where we are with our recommendations.
No problem, sir.
This is a federal, right?
Yep.
Yes.
So the way federal works, just so everybody knows, you have to constantly call them. So if a month goes by and you don't hear from them, you have to call them. You have to just stay close to them. Because you have to understand, it's not an excuse, but they're doing a lot of these and you don't know where you are in the pile. So that would be my suggestion.
Other questions for Mike regarding the DPW prioritization list?
I have a question, Mike, on number 3, the under Josh's number 3, it's Shields Avenue, Penn Avenue, Water Tower Project, replace leaking water pipes and resurface roads.
That's equal to Mike's number 1.
It's equal
is.
to Mike's number 1, you're right.
Yes, that's what I said, Steve, Mike's.
Yes,
Mike's
it's
number-
C
Okay,
Mike's.
these are
Let's have to read.
independent.
It's really hard to read
It's
this.
really hard.
So sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not, it's fine, it's not your fault, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But
Because I
yes,
just noticed that.
It is the same exact project.
Mike, you're number 1, Josh is number 3. I was looking underwater because of the fact that it's a water tower, so I just was looking to see where it was in Josh's kind of priority. My confusion is the water tower project itself is done. Is there more stuff that has to be done with the water tower stuff itself? I know that the line on Shields has to be replaced. But
Correct.
What still needs to be done with the water tower?
The tank job is done. The new building up there is done. The planning board resolution from Raritan had Shields Ave and Pennsylvania Ave in the township. We had to replace our lines and repave that road in the planning board resolution when we went for the new tank.
So when it says water tower project, what you mean is that it's all part of that approval, even though
Yes,
there's nothing.
yes.
All right, I saw that and I'm like, well, what else has to be done on the water tower itself? Nothing.
Yeah.
The answer is nothing.
Correct.
Okay, all right, sorry. I just thought there was more work to be done that I wasn't aware of. The way
Yeah, we're under a TCO with the township for the water tank and the garage that was built. And to get off the TCO and complete our planning board resolution, that would be Shields Ave and Pennsylvania Ave in the township.
And we can't close out the old bond ordinance without that, right?
Correct. And we had a meeting with the USDA who's funding this. They funded
Yeah.
the water tank and the new building.
Yeah.
And we have a deadline of this year, which is not an issue. However, depending on how much, how high the bids are, we may only be able to choose one road, and that road will be Shields Ave.
But if we don't do the Pennsylvania, then we wouldn't be able to close out the whole bond.
Correct, we'll have to do it next year. We'll have to apply for more funding from the USDA.
So but we would blow that deadline then.
No, as long as we get as long as we spend the money, the remaining funds before
Oh,
December, we're good. Depending what the bids come in, we're bidding out both roads. Depending what the bids come in, no matter what, we're gonna use up the remaining funds. Hopefully, it's both roads. If not, it'll be the one road.
so the remaining funds is the 70,000 that's listed here.
Is that the remaining funds or is that what?
That's a question, yeah.
That is.
It says 950K, which is like back from when Mark was
Close out
on.
old bond ordinance and it says probably
Right.
70.
70,000,
Yeah,
I think
my-
that's what you mean by this summary?
And then
I'm looking at,
Get back to me if you don't know the answer, it's fine.
yeah, that number is not correct. I'll give you the remaining funds tomorrow. I'll
Okay.
distribute it to everybody.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Other questions for Mike?
So I just want to go and I guess there's a couple of questions here. Because I'm trying to understand this complete Main Street, Church Street, and it has to be done by 2028. Is that?
2028 is when we will lose our 100% reimbursement.
And where are we with it right now?
It's being engineered and designed for free by Remington Vernick because the state is paying for the design. And they'll be ready to go next year in 2027.
So originally that was planned for this summer, but we're actually not gonna be doing it this summer, obviously.
Mike, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, I was gonna correct that, Mayor. Either Mine Street will be done this fall or Main Street this fall. And then whichever one we don't do, we'll do in the spring of 2027. That's the plan.
Okay,
Got it.
well, I'm only saying because Terry said at our DPW meeting on Friday that Main Street was gonna be done in 2027. That's what he said. Any other questions for Mike? Since I was banging crickets on that.
I'm just trying to, okay.
Mike, can you tell me, what are some of these like 6 wish list things?
Where are you at? Where's
No, the 6 numbers.
The, you know, your number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We did this a couple of years, last year and the year before, where the 3 of you guys gave us your kind of your wish list and what was your priorities. What are some things that are on your list that aren't on Josh's and Ken's list? What are some things that are on Josh's list that's not on yours and Ken's list? And what are some things that are on Ken's list that aren't on yours and Josh's list?
Well, for Ken's list, it was all based on the developments towards the Hopewell North Main intersection, because that's where we have the overflows, which the EPA's been getting on us. And that obviously, I don't know too much about what's going on with those 2 properties. So Ken's list was all predicated on that development towards that end of town.
So if there's nothing going on, then that goes away.
Well, I mean, we still have to address the overflow issues.
Just address the issue.
I know, but does it have to be?
Correct.
Is it, well, okay, go ahead and finish and then I'll answer.
Okay, and then with Josh's, is a lot of it's state mandated from the DEP, like the PFAS and the lead service lines.
Right.
And then mine is all of it put together, and especially the drivable roads, the main roads that are traveled the most. I know, if you see, I did add Abbott Court to the list at the end based on how bad that road is. So as we complete roads, complete the list, we could start moving stuff up and adding stuff.
Hey, Mike, and I'm asking this for not for any ulterior motive or anything like that, but if you could only have one or two of these projects done for this year, what would they be? What are the
It-
most important things for us to do this year?
Okay, without any ACOs, it would be Shields Ave, Pennsylvania Ave,
Mhm,
new well at 200.
mhm.
And then really we would have to wait on the EPA for the sewer, sir. Because
So
that's gonna cost a lot of money.
right, so is that number one? I'm trying to think of what order. Is that
Yeah.
number one and number two on
Num-
Josh's, and I'm sorry.
Correct. Mine would be Shields Ave, Pennsylvania Ave. I'll speak for Josh. It would be the new well.
Okay,
And then for Kenny is whatever the EPA is gonna throw at us.
okay, thank you. Thank
And
you.
not to get off track here, but if Cut Glass wants to come in, I know they have approved site plan. We don't have the order for them. Just want to let you know.
We don't have an approved site plan.
No more.
He,
Once it's
he,
gone.
he acknowledged that. He
Oh,
said,
I thought he said.
no, he said, I know they don't have.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought we're going dropped.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Any other questions for Mike on the priorities list?
Yeah, just to follow up to the last question, I'm a little confused. So, I, I understood the lists to be in priority order. Is that not the case? Because it sounds like the answer to Council President's question was not the first and second things on the list.
Well, the question that the president asked
but,
was what would Mike want to do off this list? And he picked a project for each of them.
Right, but I mean, I would have I understood this list to say like that question should just be answered by the list, which is whatever is on items
That-
number 1 and 2.
Priority is because we're under all these orders from the state and the federal government to do work. But, that doesn't. So it's required, right? So that becomes a priority because EPA and DEP are saying so. But for us, it's less of a priority than putting in a new well.
Beth, if I can chime in, I know it's sometimes hard to hear remotely. The question was more like, I think the way Mike answered it was, if we didn't have to do the EPA thing, he feels that Josh would prefer the well
Yep.
over the EPA thing. Can I?
Correct.
speak that right?
Absolutely, correct.
So do you,
Yeah.
you get the nuance there, Beth?
Yes, thank you.
It's not as easy for yes, Mike's answer could have been, it's number one across the board, but I think Mike was kind of insinuating, EPA aside, I think Josh would put the well as his wish list priority
So
otherwise.
what I was asking, it's what is a must have and what's a nice to have? That's basically what I was asking, and Mike answered it, I get it. Yeah, that's all I was trying to do, is in 2026, what is absolutely has to happen? And what can wait? That was the question. Does that help?
Well, I mean, it's all based on the order of priority and the budget, right?
Well,
No,
I don't know what that
necessarily.
means. I mean, this is what the DEP thinks are the most important projects for the town. So then the town needs to find funding for them if we want to move them
I think
forward.
she's getting the two, yeah, I hear, I think she's getting the two confused, but. I don't know how else to ask the question, but it really is, Mike gave the answer, and he gave us those three things or those two things, and saying if this happens, then everything else is gonna kind of get screwed up.
Okay, so can someone just recap then what those 3 items were, because I was lost while he was saying it and I didn't get a chance to really capture.
Mike, you wanna recap?
Sure, it would be the Shields Ave, Pennsylvania Ave. That would be number 1.
Which is number 1 on your list.
Number 2 would be the new well, because our firm capacity is dwindling.
Which is Josh's number 2, because he wishes the EPA would go away.
Correct.
Got it.
And then 3 would be based on the EPA ACL that they're gonna come at us with for the sewer.
I'm sorry, ACL, what does that stand for?
ACO, Administrative Consent Order, is where the borough enters an agreement with the state and we're mandated to do it.
And that's fix the water issues when it rains hard down on North Main Street, where it bubbles out of the manholes.
Okay. And I'm sorry, which road or sewer or water item number is that?
That would be sewer number 1.
Sewer number 1. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions on the prioritization, Mr. Mike?
Yeah, Mike, I'm sorry, I have one more question. Your number 4 and number 5, complete streets for Corkin and Academy Street.
Correct.
And I get Academy Street flooding, so your number 5 and number 6 are kind of together, correct?
Correct.
What made Academy go as number 5 and number 6? What inspired you to put Corkin? I never can say that. Corkin. Yes, you know what I mean. What inspired you to put that in front of Academy?
Well, we have the plans done. CME, the prior engineer, completed those, but our funding wasn't that great at the time, so that's on the back burner. However, if RVE is willing to accept CME's plans, we can go out to bid for that once our funding is correct.
And a lot of times the federal funding, especially if you've got the plans all done, you're more likely to get that work through quickly.
Correct, but we had to slide that down because of bonding issues.
Okay. So it's more of it's more a point of we could get this pushed through faster if we have the opportunity versus Academy.
Absolutely, the residents would be ecstatic on Corcoran.
I realize that, and they're just as important as the ones on Academy. So it's not a matter of which residents we want to make happy and which ones we want to have to push off. I just am trying to understand the priority. What inspired you to put one in front of the other? But I get it. The plans are done for this one, so we're more likely to get funding for that one first. That makes sense.
Yeah, depending on the funding source, correct.
Right.
Anything else?
Mm-mm.
Okay, moving on with Mike to, so Beth McNanus sent out a memo regarding the little park on Brown Street, the signage and hours. This was discussed last year at the DPW meeting with Councilman Fasaro and Council President Parker, myself and the DPW. But not everybody heard the discussion or heard Mike opine on his thoughts on consistency with Morgan Park. So I'm just gonna let Mike address this.
Sure. George Vallone reached out to me in September of last year asking me the time of the park for the sign he has to make up. And I said, I'll run it by the Public Works Committee. I brought it in October, and my recommendation was dawn to dusk. Like Tuck American, especially on Brown Street, because there's so many homes over there. You don't want people there at night. Tuck American Park has 2 street lights right there by the pavilion. There is lights at the pavilion, but it's kind of off the beaten path. But the Brown Street one will be right there on Brown Street. So I would like to keep it uniform with Tuck American Park, dawn to dusk.
Which we agreed to last year.
That makes sense.
We did talk about it on Friday at the DPW meeting with Councilman Arias and Levitt. So everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Yeah, obviously George never communicated that back to Beth, because that was on her list to him, and he never responded, so.
Yeah, Beth reached out to me before the last council meeting, and I told her everything in an email.
Why don't you send a memo? Okay, never mind.
She's sending it to him.
Anything else from Mike while we've got Mike? We're all good? Thank you, Mr. Campion.
Thank you, Mike. Have a good night.
You're welcome. Need anything, please call me.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, so we're on the approval of minutes. Regular session, April 27, 2026. Can I have a motion, please?
Sarah will move.
Is there a second?
Parker, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions or? Okay. Consent agenda. Resolution 2026-90, resolution approving a refund for the redemption of the tax sale certificate on block 35 lot 74.45. Resolution 2026-91, resolution approving a refund for the redemption of tax sale certificate on block 10 lot 21. Resolution 2026-92, resolution approving a refund for the redemption of tax sale certificate on block 35 lot 17.25. Carla, where do these two, the resolutions for the Boy Scouts, they're not on here?
They're proclamations.
Proclamations, okay.
Yeah.
Can I have, anybody want any of these for a separate vote? Seeing none, can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Sarah will move.
Is there a second?
Parker, second.
All, roll call, please.
Councilman Aries,
Yes.
Council Vice President Engelhardt,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fasar,
Yes.
sorry, Councilwoman Herbert,
Yes.
Councilman Levitt,
Yes.
Council President Parker.
Yes.
Do you want to amend the agenda to add the proclamations now
Yeah, can I have
for the public hearing?
Yeah, can I have a motion to amend the agenda to add the two proclamations for the Boy Scouts?
Parker, move.
Is there a second?
Engelhardt will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve the two proclamations for these two scouts becoming Eagle Scouts?
Sarah will move.
Is there a second?
Engelhardt will second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Aries,
Yes.
Council Vice President Engelhardt,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fasara,
Yes.
Councilwoman Herbert,
Yes.
Councilman Levitt,
Yes.
Council President Parker.
Yes.
Okay, we don't have any ordinances being introduced. We do have public hearing on the budget. If our CFO wants to come out.
Yeah. Bill, dollar bill.
What do you?
I call him Bill.
Great name for-
Dollar bill. Okay, so I just want to read some budget points like I do every year, and then we'll have Bill make a couple comments. We'll open us up to the public and see what happens. Okay, so the 2026 budget did not increase our tax rate. And through careful and conservative operational spending, paid down debt by $390,800 or 3.93% of our borough debt. The 2026 budget decreases the tax rate by 1.43% while still permitting the boroughs to continue to aggressively address our debt issue. The municipal tax per 100,000 and assessed value is $1,037.48 or a $33.07 increase from 2022. Based on the value of the average house in Flemington, this equates to about $1,144.72 increase. Several major cost categories went up, worth noting, including another large increase in the cost of public health insurance. The 2026 budget is $783,000 more than the 2025 budget. The majority of this amount can be explained by insurance increases, $331,600, and grants received, $303,168.57, which has to show as an increase, even though it's a good thing. This budget aggressively replenishes the capital fund, which had been depleted from $600,000 in 2019 down to $93,000 in 2023. By the end of 2026, the borough should have approximately $458,000 in our capital fund, and that includes buying, with those 2 fire trucks, which we paid right out of cash. This budget aggressively pays down principal on financing notes in the amount of $288,000 over the next 3 years, avoiding costly and wasteful interest payments. The borough avoids paying over $12,000 in interest payments. This budget continues to keep the borough on a track of financial soundness and positions us to pay off debt and plan for future capital projects, such as completing the Main Street project, fixing the wet weather facility, Academy Street, finishing the new police facility, and at least 1 additional well, while doing so with a stable and predictable financial environment. The budget brings our surplus to just over $2,217,000. It is the highest it has ever been in the history of the borough, and close to the amount recommended by our auditor, 25% of our budget total, for $2.27 million. So we're literally $100,000 short of what our auditor wants, as well as where our bond rating company would like to see us. With anticipated pilot funds from the hotel project starting in 2026, income from cannabis licenses, and pilot payments in the future from Liberty Village, we look forward to a future which allows us to structure a flat budget with no tax increases for several more years. So, Bill, what do you want to add to that?
Just that, I've been working with Council President Parker to try to get some options for us for the medical insurance, and hopefully bring that number down. And
that would be grand.
Yes.
Or grand, hundreds of grands.
I don't know how quickly we can do that, but hopefully by the fourth quarter of this year, we'll have something, everything in place.
Yep,
Great.
that's the plan.
And I just want to say thank you. You worked really hard for us this year, as you do every year, but finding ways are getting to be such a struggle. And inflation this year is it's going to be a hard year. And I also want to thank all the department heads for really, getting it and tightening their belts too, with all the costs of everything that's going up. So, saying all of that, can I have a motion to open this to the public?
Engelhardt will move.
Is there a second?
Purpose.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody wishing to comment on the budget? Raise your hand, unless you're here in the public. No questions at all. Okay. Can I have a motion to close the budget to the public?
Parker move.
There's a second.
Engelhardt will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to adopt the 2026 budget?
Sorry, love.
Is there a second?
Engelhardt will second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Rice,
Yes.
Council Vice President Engelhardt,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fasaro,
Yes.
Councilwoman Herbert,
Yes.
Councilman Levin,
Yes.
Council President Parker.
Yes.
Okay, so my question to all of you is, while Bill is still here, is the capital budget can be introduced, like the next meeting, but I think we want to have a work session on that, or we can do the work session in our first meeting in June, and maybe introduce the capital budget at the end of June, Bill? Or we could have a special meeting to do the work session.
We definitely want to do a work session. I don't want to do this like we did.
No, do you want to do it as a special meeting, or do you want to wait till the first meeting?
Let's wait until the first meeting in June, so we'll have time to go over it and figure out what.
Okay, so first meeting in June, Bill, will be the work session on the capital budget. Hopefully we can introduce it.
Well, before I agree with that for sure. I'm assuming you're gonna be giving us some sort of draft prior to June 9th.
8th.
Yes.
July 8th, I'm sorry,
Yes.
I misspeak. June 8th. Right, so then we'll have time
That's what
to,
I'm saying.
to read it.
We need time to
for
read it
the-
and go over it,
yeah.
as opposed to just get it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Is that
So that'd be great.
Well, it's mostly the projects that you've already seen
Right.
from TPW.
Right, so we just need.
Do you want my, he hung up, do you want my champion here?
I mean, if
And
you
they're
have,
mostly his projects.
right,
The capital budget is vastly Mike's.
if you have questions on the specifics of.
Well,
things, you
I
might-
mean, I think it's helpful to understand a couple of things. I mean, I asked you to do one more thing for us. In terms of what we have in funding and the whole bit, so that everybody has a clear picture of what we're going into. So once we have all of that information and we have Mike's priorities, then we can have a discussion. I think that's where we want to go. So I appreciate it. But Bill, thank you. Thank you. I know you and I have worked pretty closely, but thank you. I appreciate your indulgence.
So work session June 8th.
Yeah, but if Bill needs more time, we'll let you, like, we're putting this on Bill. If you need more time,
He'll tell me either way.
okay?
Yeah.
Right, that's why I asked the question. I didn't wanna.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, Bill's driving the ship, so.
Yep.
Right.
No, that's circus.
I know. That was good, Bill. Here.
All right, while he's here, we have the resolution 2026-93, the 2026 salary resolution. For those that don't know, we do this every year and adjust salaries with inflation and contracts and whatever. These are ranges that our employees live within, but they are adjusted annually. Can I have a motion, please?
Sorry, no.
Is there a second?
Parker, second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilman Rice,
Yes.
Council Vice President Engelhardt,
yes.
Councilwoman Fasara,
Yes.
Councilwoman Herbert,
Yes.
Councilman Levitt,
Yes.
and Council President Parker.
Yes.
Okay, Bill, you are free to go.
I know, right?
Thank you,
Well,
Bill.
thanks for coming.
June again?
And then we have public comment session number 2. Is there anybody on?
Nope, just Chris.
Oh, are redevelopment trees on? Okay. All right, seeing no comments, moving on to number 15, payment of bills, authorizing payment of bills in the amount of $3,621,265.50. I can do these big numbers. I was all over myself on the small ones tonight. Can I have a motion, please?
Engelhardt will
Is
move.
there a second?
Sorry, second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Rice,
Yes.
Vice President Engelhardt,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fasara,
Yes.
Councilwoman Herbert,
Yes.
Councilman Levitt,
Yes.
and Council President Parker.
Yes.
We do have an executive session, for contract negotiation redevelopment Captiva Cardinal. Can I have a motion to amend this executive session agenda to add Liberty Village?
Engelhardt will move.
Is there a second? Well, Carla.
We took it off before, now we're putting.
Oh, yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah, but we mentioned
Is
it.
there a second?
Levitt will second.
All in favor?
Oh, wait, who
Aye.
was-
Trent seconded. Can I have a motion to move into executive session, please?
Sorry, move.
Is there a second?
Engelhardt will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's like a 5-minute break or less, please. I swear he's lazy. Meeting.
Oops. Wait, who's adjourning?
A motion to adjourn.
Carl, move.
There's a second.
Parker.
All in favor?
Aye. Good night.